AdWords Mastery. By now, you should realize how incredibly important that Google AdWords is for your business, regardless of what market you're in. If you're only going to do one thing in this entire course, then I want you to at least just master Google AdWords, because Google AdWords alone can greatly increase the amount of visitors you get to your websites, can greatly increase the amount of customers that you start pulling in, and of course can greatly increase the amount of money that you make in your business. When it comes to marketing, when it comes to using the internet to grow our businesses, when it comes to finding new prospects and finding new customers to sell things to, it's all about target marketing. Well, it doesn't get any more targeted than being able to put an ad or being able to put any kind of communication in front of someone that's searching, now that's actively searching, not just searching and looking for things, but is actively searching for exactly what it is that we sell. So that's incredibly powerful, and that's the value in this search marketing thing of being able to have our ads displayed when an internet user searches Google for a specific keyword or phrase. So if you're going to do anything, master Google AdWords, and you can greatly increase the amount of money that you make in your business. Of course, I want you to do everything that I'm teaching you in this course, but if you have to be lazy, and if you're going to be lazy at all, then at least just master this AdWords part, because it's incredibly important and it can really change your business overnight. The thing you have to realize, though, is that in order to maximize the profits that you make from AdWords, it takes work. Now, the beauty of anything in marketing and anything in business that takes work is that the advantage for you is there are so many other competitors, there are so many other marketers out there that aren't willing to do the work that it takes to get the next level of success. So in essence, the more work something takes, the easier it is to make money from it, because you lose more and more people along the way that aren't going to be willing to do the work. Well, Google AdWords is no exception. It's not that difficult, but it takes work. In order to make the most money possible, which you're going to learn how to do from Google AdWords, you have to become an avid tester. You have to be willing to carefully test and track all of your results. You're going to be testing different types of ad copy for your ads themselves. You're going to be testing different keywords to see what kind of results those individual keywords produce. And you're going to be using a wide range of features that Google offers you within the AdWords system that you can really take advantage of to maximize the amount of money that you make from advertising within their whole world of Google AdWords. So just know that it's going to take some work, but just like anything else in this course, you can hire someone else to do the work for you if you don't want to spend the time. But you should at least learn to do it yourself in the beginning, because that's going to become very important for you to at least know how it affects your business. The more relevant, the greater your profits. This is kind of a little mantra that you need to realize when it comes to Google AdWords. Their job is to serve the most relevant results, in their results pages when someone does a search with their search engine. And that goes along with ads as well. So the Google AdWords ads that are shown along the sides of their normal organic, the kind of just natural listings, those ads that show up, they need to be relevant as well. So the more relevant you can make your ads within the AdWords system, the more it benefits you. The higher your click rate will be on your ads themselves, which lowers the cost that you pay per click, as well as the more relevant your landing page that you're sending traffic to, the more Google will reward you and allow you to pay less, as well as give you better positioning. So there are so many different benefits that go with maximizing the relevancy of everything you do along the way with Google AdWords. So keep that in mind. In essence, it comes down to this: using the right keywords with the right ad and the right landing page. Now, in the past, we as internet marketers would just set up campaigns for thousands of keywords, pretty much use the same ad, and drive them all to the same website or the same landing page, that same page that they end up on. Well, all of that has changed. You can't do that anymore, when it comes to Google AdWords and it comes to driving traffic and making money from advertising, within Google search engine. Now it's all changed, and it's on a much, much smaller, more detailed level. So now it comes down to creating small ad groups with tightly related keywords, serving a specific ad only for those keywords, and then sending any traffic from that small group of keywords to a specific landing page designed especially for those keywords. Yes, it takes a little bit of work to do all these things, but when we do all of these things properly, we can get the maximum traffic, we can get the lowest cost for that traffic, and then we can get the highest conversion so we can make the most money. So it all works together. Now, the one thing most people don't realize is Google actually wants you to make more money. They want you to get the maximum traffic at the lowest price, and they want you to make the maximum amount of profit that you can from advertising in their system for all the different reasons, for having you advertise with them long term, to increase the competition for all the different people that will be bidding on those keywords and everything else that goes along with it. But they want you to win. So first and foremost, just like it's its own little individual business, almost like it's a vending machine. Like your business owns like a vending machine route of, snack machines, let's say, and you're going to put thousands of them all over the country or all over the city that you live in. Well, you're going to track the results from each individual machine by its location, by the prices that, the things that are for sale in that machine, what they go for. And by tracking all that, you're going to treat each machine like it's its own little business, which you would if you were in the vending machine business. Well, that's how you need to think of each keyword. Every keyword is essentially different. The psychology that goes in with the overall math that kind of balances out with the statistics involved with all the people that search for a specific keyword, the behavior and the results that come from each individual keyword will be completely different from other keywords. So they're all going to have unique results as far as how high they convert in sales, if they don't get any sales at all, if they get a lot of clicks, if they don't get many clicks. So every keyword is different. And every keyword needs to be treated like its own business, because you'll find a few keywords for your business in your market that will produce the bulk of the profits for you. It's kind of like that 80-20 rule on steroids. You may find that some keywords create 90-something% of the actual dollars that you produce in sales from advertising with Google. So always keep that in mind, that each keyword needs to be treated like its own business. That's very, very important. You're going to want to use exact phrase matching. When I started teaching some of my Google AdWords techniques in the first version of the Traffic Secrets course, and in a workshop I did, and with some other information I was sharing, over 4 years ago now, I was very, very adamant about getting people to use exact phrase matching. In other words, you're going to just have ads show up. You just want ads to appear in Google only when someone types in a specific phrase and only that specific phrase. Now, when I was telling people that the bulk of your focus needs to be on this, so many other AdWords teachers and other people that were, experts with Google AdWords, a lot of them kind of laughed at me almost, or kind of, just almost tried saying that I was giving bad advice to people by telling people to go exact match, that you could do a broad match where you could put in like gardening tools, and then your ad would show up for every variation that has gardening tools in it. Well, it's kind of funny that now after a few years, everyone's on the exact match bandwagon. And if you really think about it, as far as why that reason is, you'll come down to the essence of what AdWords is about now, about that specific keyword or small, group of keywords that are related to each other. The right ad for just those keywords and the right landing page. It has to be specific and exact. Now, in the master plan and in the documents and how-to information for this overall course, there are going to be times when you'll want to do broad match to discover some new keywords. But ultimately, you're going to be taking your keywords and moving them into exact match groups and campaigns to maximize the amount of traffic and to maximize the amount of money that you make from Google AdWords. So when all else fails, use exact match. Only have an ad show when someone types in an exact keyword phrase with no other words, with nothing else with it, not in a different order, the exact phrase like discount gardening tools. Only when someone types in exactly that, because as I already mentioned, due to the psychology and just the way it is, when people type in certain keyword phrases, they have a different mindset when they type in a similar keyword phrase with one word added to it, for example, and so on and so forth. So we've got to use exact match. Something else I need to just throw out here, which is kind of another argument of sorts in the whole AdWords world and has been for a very long time. A lot of people like to teach that Google AdWords success And so your ad shows up first in the paid listings when someone searches for gardening tools, if you're willing to pay $1 per click. And because you're willing to pay $1 per click, you're going to get the bulk of the traffic by being in that number one position. Let's say it's 1,000 clicks a day. Now you could get traffic and have your ad run when someone searches for gardening tools by only paying 5 cents per click. But because of the competition for that traffic, you may only get 5 or 10 visitors a day. Now, with all things created equal, if that traffic of being in the number one position or being in the number, 100th position where your ad will show up, if all that traffic converts the same, in other words, let's say it takes 1 out of 100 visitors before one person will buy a gardening tool from our gardening tool store, if all that's created equal, then the conversion value is equal whether we pay $1 cost per click or whether we pay, 5 cents per click. The traffic we produce converts just the same. And so most people's thinking is, well, I definitely only want to pay 5 cents because it will be more profitable. While that's true, there's something very important that's being missed. The important thing that's being missed is the premium that it's worth paying to get the volume. Although you can get traffic for less if you bid less, by bidding a lot more, if you can still make the equation work to create profit, it's worth it to pay to get the heavy volume. Because at 5 cents a click, maybe you'll make 1 sale a day. And okay, it's going to make a little bit more profit. But if you paid $1 a click, maybe you'll make 100 sales a day with less profit, per click because of the cost. But your net profit will be more. So don't think about lowest cost possible. Think about most profit possible on a day-to-day basis. So hopefully I didn't confuse you there too much, but so many people get away from the fact that it's really about the net total that you make per day when it's all said and done, not about how profitable traffic is on a lower volume basis by paying the least per click and maximizing profits. You're willing to make less profit per click if you can get more sales and pay for the volume. So keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is, just as a rule of thumb, as Google suggests certain, click cost bid prices to start your campaigns at, pretty much always just go with 50% of whatever they suggest. If they say the suggested, click bid for you for this campaign is 75 cents, then just take about half that and put that in as your start amount. Don't go too low. You don't have to go, maximum price. Start out with about 50% of, the price they give you. The other thing to keep in mind is you're going to have to carefully track all your campaigns down to the keyword level, and you're going to have to track your conversions. Now, the way you can do this is simple. We've been talking about Google AdWords and, Google Analytics, the free traffic service for tracking, where your traffic is coming from. So you'll want to have a Google Analytics account, and you want to combine that with their conversion tools, where you can put a little piece of code on like the thank you pages for an opt-in form, or the thank you page when someone actually orders one of your products. And you'll want to be tracking conversions for each of your keyword campaigns. So the way you'll do that is simply by using analytics and their conversion tools. And of course, the resources section will put a link to all of this stuff to where you can find tutorials on how to actually set all that up. But you'll want to make sure that you do that, because it's very important in the AdWords process that in order to constantly test, to run split tests between ads to see which ad will perform better, where you can lower your costs and maximize your profits, as well as to see which ones are converting the most. Now, when you're running tests to try to find out which one of your keywords is actually going to convert the best, a lot of times it's not efficient to only track conversions based on sale. Maybe you sell something where it takes a lot of visitors before a sale is made. And if that's the case, and you're trying to figure out which groups of your keywords, which types of keywords are going to create conversions, there's a little secret that you can use. Now, it's not always 100% scientific, but I find that it is the majority of the time. And instead of basing the conversion process on people that order, you can base it on opt-ins. I find that the majority, this isn't always the case, but most of the time it has been for me. If users are going to convert into an opt-in, such as to subscribe for more information, if it's related to that keyword, of course, and to what it is that you do, users that will opt in and convert are much more likely to end up converting then eventually to become buyers. If users aren't willing to opt in for more information or for a report related to the business or the solution, then they're probably not going to convert, or they'll convert at a much lower level. So when you're tracking and testing keyword campaigns to see which ones will convert more than others, oftentimes you can use opt-ins as a conversion metric to determine which keywords are more valuable. If doing it by making orders and sales, doesn't work out for you. In other words, if it's taking too much traffic to figure that out. So you can substitute an opt-in process for something for sale to get a gauge on the quality of traffic that's coming from certain keywords. And last but not least, you need to know up front here in this overview that there are basically 3 networks within Google's AdWords system. Google itself, which is kind of the default. People searching Google, your ad's going to get displayed. The other one is just called Search. It's pretty much their search partner. So when someone searches on like Ask.com or some of these other search engines, your ad will show up there as well. Now, you can turn that on and off, and we're going to talk more about that. But you need to realize that these 3 components are separate, and all traffic is not created equal. It's different. So a lot of the things that you're going to see in the CD and that you're going to be told to do for this course is really tracking things down to this granular level of what's different and what's unique to find out how to maximize the traffic and maximize your profits. So the big, kind of top-down 3 of where it all starts is these types of networks. Google, their search partners, and then what's called their content network, where people are running AdSense ads on their pages, where they can sign up as a publisher in Google's program, they can get some code and put on their pages, and when someone goes to one of their pages, it loads these ads from Google's system. Well, those are content network ads. And of course, any testing that we do in the system, we're going to want to separate these. Now, you can separate the Google search stuff from the content network, but you can't separate Google from their search partners. However, you can create a campaign for a certain keyword only with Google, and then create a similar campaign that's Google plus the search networks, and kind of get some kind of metrics to go by from that level. But think of this as 3 different search networks or 3 different areas where this traffic is coming from, and it will all be valued differently.